Okay, so let's think about this. It's going to add up to the right number of bots. Um, all right, so we go to balance bots. Basically, like we don't want to remove any. It's basically the GM right bots is we have our right team count. So all right, so if the right count is less than the current right count, no, it's if, let's think about this. The logic is if the current right team is less than the right bot count, we don't want to delete anything. So it's going to be basically if the right bot count is greater than the current team count, delete somebody? No, it's the other way. It's if the right bot count is less than the right team count, then we can go ahead and remove things. So if the or this is equal to -1. Is that right? All right, so we have said that the left bots needs to be right bots we don't care about. I mean, the or doesn't matter here, does it? Because it's a -1, so it's like there's always going to be something there, so I think that's fine. So we need to check that the left is less than the left count, and then we can delete things from the left. All right, so what logic is this going to follow? So if the God, look at that, just horrible mess. All right, so if there's more, if the right team is greater than the left, so if we said that we're supposed to balance teams and the right is greater than the left, so we have 2 on the left and none on the right. Then we're going to remove people from the left team count is less than the right. Alright, so if the right team count is less than like 4, then we'll go ahead and try to destroy one of them if we can. Otherwise, we won't do anything. Okay, so if left is greater than the right, then we're going to make sure that we don't delete. If we're supposed to have 2, we're going to keep 2. Otherwise, we're going to add to match. Okay. So I think it should balance, but also preserve the teams. So if I do like mini right bots and balance teams, it should be 4s. All right. Let's try it out. Oh, man. Yeah. 30% in 1.5 hours. So you're looking at like a 4-hour, 5-hour render time. If it doesn't run into some other problems in between then, right? Like some of the things that I would imagine would be, then you start running into stuff where it takes longer. Like you start running out of RAM, it'll go for 4 hours and then error out or something. All right, so we want to balance teams. 1 right bot. Okay, so this should always balance the teams to 1 on the right minimum. So we should be able to like jump over there and see what happens. All right, so we joined and there's 1 on the right. So if we move to the right side, it deleted the 1 bot on the right. All right, so it's doing 1 on the right. So if we jump over to the left, it's going to keep trying to balance it, which is good. It's 1 bot on the right balanced. Okay. Many right bots. I want a balanced team with like a many. Balanced teams, 1 right bot, big ball. Balanced teams, 1 right bot, many right bots. Let's see, mat ups. Balanced teams, 1 right bot. Balanced teams, some left bots. Alright, we'll do that. So some left bots should be, there should always be 2 people on the left. So there should always be 2 people on the left, and it'll balance it on the right, so it should always be 2v2. So it's always 2v2, and that's what it looks like. So if we switch over to the right side, that's fine. We can add bots to the left, and it'll be, so it's always 2v2. Alright, so many left bots, multi-ball. So how come we're not getting our balanced teams? What, balanced bots isn't true? Oh yeah, this is many left bots. So if we switch to the right team, alright, I've changed it so we should always have balanced and balanced hard on the as options. So let's just double check that. Because I think it's mainly that balanced and balanced hard is probably what we want. So how many game modes do we have? We have options for next match. It's 5. Balanced teams, some right bots, balanced teams. Yeah, so balanced and balanced hard, and then we've got these kind of custom game modes. Many right, some left. One left, some right. All right. All right, generic user has scored. I totally got that goal. Not the bots hitting it into their own fucking goal. That absolutely didn't happen. Those fucking bots. The bots are really good at smacking the shit out of you. It's just hilarious to me. Just, just get out of here, you bastard. Shit. I made him more aggressive, and maybe I made him too aggressive on easy mode. Balanced teams, some right bots. Let's load that up. So much for playing half-ass and joining too late. That's true. I still like that we have an intro video. It's like, what? It's a real game. Alright, so this is the balanced teams as well as some right bots. So if I join the right side, it's going to balance it at 2. I talked to Adam about the stalactites here. I don't think they're going to work very well over the network because they're a little too complicated. The ball stuff might get all screwy. So we're probably, I don't know, I think we're going to have to take them out. But I think they look cool. So I think we'll have kind of the visual there, but maybe they'll be moved back across the track a little bit. Damn, that guy nailed that thing in the air. I think they're a bit too low. Yeah, I think they're a bit too low as well. But I mean, Adam's working on the level. It's not done, so it's not fair to criticize any of that. The only thing I'm worried about is if the ball gets stuck there, kind of over the network, like on your view of it, it gets stuck, but on the other side it doesn't. It's the ball's gonna like get jammed up against it and like it needs to. We can't really have that sort of geometry. Otherwise, it's gonna have some problems. All right. So the other thing that we want is the standard playlist is going to include default options. No contact needs to not be a default option here. Multi-ball is fine. I'd like vanilla and so we'll get that in there. What's the other thing? We have a vote balanced teams. Right now, the balanced teams, I think it's on the player controller. Okay, so it's in the voting stuff, so it's going to be in the level object, right? Where in the hell did I put it? Is it in here? Yeah, voting. Handle balance teams. So right now it's shuffle teams, and what we want to do is something else. We want to add bots to match. So vote resulted in balanced teams. Instead of balancing the teams like normal, it's just going to add bots. So if else gate here is going to say like if this is less than, if this is less than. What we're going to do is we're going to balance it with bots and then we're going to shuffle it. I mean, we could do that. So it would it would add bots to match and then it would shuffle all the players around. That's not a horrible plan. Okay, so if the left team is less than the right team, then we're going to set bot team to red, and we're going to set bot num to right minus left. Otherwise, we're going to set the team to blue, and it's going to be left minus right. Otherwise, bot number is 0, bot team is none. So we're going to spawn bots, so for int. Okay, is there a for int loop? Let's see. I mean, it's got to be. For loop. I mean, this is just odd. Alright, so we'll spawn bots and then we'll shuffle the teams. I don't like that this kind of like starts at one sort of pattern. It's kind of bad. Alright, so that'll shuffle everybody around and do all that stuff. So let's make just a simple map here. Yeah, their precision even easy mode is just, if they're gonna get the ball, they get it. Alright, so let's vote balance. Alright, so we added a bot and we balanced the teams. Alright, let's add a bot to the left side and then vote to balance. So they added one on the left. Let's add one on the two on the right and then balance the teams. It added more bots. Alright, so if we remove all the bots, we'll call vote balance. We'll go ahead and get shuffled. Alright, so balanced teams should be good. Maybe we should add one that is shuffle, like as a specific thing, because I think shuffling the teams probably is unexpected for this sort of thing. So I should add a shuffle teams call. Let's duplicate. Let's do handle shuffle. So we'll just call shuffle teams. Alright, so we need an EBS vote type. So that's going to be another enum that we need to add here. Game enums, it is shuffle, yes. Hello, dedicated servers can expand by votes. Any chance you can make an option that only admin can call the vote? I mean, what do you mean dedicated servers are getting spammed by votes? The The vote to vote stuff had a bug in it. I told you earlier. I don't know if you caught that, but it was if one person voted to vote, it would just trigger it unless you had a full game of 6. And this, I changed it so the rules are a little bit better. Yeah, it'll show the vote to vote for that. So the only way that would happen is if you're in like a 1v1 match. In which case he literally has to sit there like doing that crap. And the UI is at the bottom, so you don't have to do anything. So you can just ignore it and he'll never get anything voted through. Alright, that should work there. Let's get this built. So I think the vote to vote stuff you're talking about with getting spammed isn't going to be a big problem anymore at all, because now if you're in a match of like 4 people, it's gonna require 2 people saying yes as opposed to 1. If you're in a team of 3, it's gonna require, I think, just him to trigger the vote. But even then, just ignore it. Like you put the big UI thing at the bottom, so you don't have to. You don't have to click on it. When you cancel joining a server, the background becomes black until you join a server or go back to the previous menu. The background becomes black. Oh, I see what you mean. No, he's talking about when you click, like, go to someplace, it actually does do some other stuff. You can cancel it within a second or two because it's not actually traveling. But as soon as it actually starts the server travel, you're pretty much screwed. I can take a look at that and see if there's a... because it should be a viewpoint change, basically. Because it switches to the far viewpoint, the viewpoint in the background. I'll see if there's anything that's worth it there. Very good. All right. Let's see, this is in game utils. I need to add another thing to it. So I'll have to build this again afterwards, but whatever. It's not the worst thing. That should hook up the vote to shuffle teams. Please wait. Please wait. So let me take a look at this black screen thing. Yeah, one of the things I think Zivik was saying, the cursor is probably a little too big. I don't know how you feel about that. Hello, Novice Styles. What am I building? I've been working on preparing for update 6 tomorrow, which is adding some more bot stuff, adding little things like cursors, things like that. So we'll see if it's tomorrow or not, but basically just small little bug fixes that I can get in. I fixed bots, like hopefully fixed bots getting all screwed up. So if we hit join and I hit cancel, it doesn't actually cancel it. So what happens is it's loading in the background here, right? Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, okay, so we hit start, we hit cancel, and it would have traveled to the next scene, but it didn't because we canceled it. it just it basically took the viewpoint over for the screen. So I'll have to look into exactly why it does that. Yeah, so I figured you'd have an opinion on it some way. So I just told him, "You'll do it. You'll do what you want, as you should." All right. So what I'd like to do is I want to see what happens with the cancel inside of the server travel stuff. Alright, so if it does cancel, it's going to call start solo level with the empty level path. Alright. So what it's this start solo level that's the thing that is doing it. Clear current mission, get game ops, URL for server queue level load. So it's going to load into the UI level, I guess. So what it needs to do, instead of calling start solo level, is it needs to cancel it by clearing the level load or something like that. Alright, so I can get rid of this. We'll call clear level load. Let's go to our game utils. Let's just do clear level load. And it'll clear it if we can. If we haven't already started traveling, it'll do its best. So I think this will do it. So if we're not loading level, it'll do its best. All right. So let's build that, and we'll see what happens. So let's get this built out. I like how we have viewers that are obviously bots of some kind. We have electrical skateboard and electrical longboard. I think they're creative bots that just always jump in for no reason. I'm waiting for different forms of electrical skateboards to come in. Different, like we need at least 100 different bots that have that same type of name. Alright, so we should be able to call shuffle teams now. Electrical potato. Now, I mean, if you can ride a potato like a skateboard, I'd be impressed. Welcome, electrical board enthusiast. Dashkin is now available. It's true. Get it now, and tomorrow we've got the next update. The next update's got a brand new level. Well, we'll see if it's tomorrow. This weekend, I should say. And we'll have more options for bots and more cool stuff. Hopefully bots are fixed. Hopefully the game mode, we'll have the bot playlist going out there. And that'll be nice. So after this is done, after I'm done debugging this, just making sure it works. Because what I like now is basically calling the balance team vote will actually balance the teams with bots, and then you can call it a shuffle if you want. So you can just do /vote balance and it'll add bots. So that's nicer than it was. They were shuffling every balance. That's how I had it previously for balance teams, was just shuffled everybody around. That's not how it works anymore after I get this vote command in, is they're separate operations. So you can vote to balance, which will add bots, and you can vote to shuffle, which will shuffle. So I think that'll be more obvious as to what goes on. Alright, well, while I'm waiting for this, I could probably compile some patch notes. So, things that we did over the last history here. So, let's see, we've got caverns, pre-mission, missions, cutscenes, vote panel. Thanks. Let's see, UI level improvements, Meadowcrest, map improvements, Meadowcrest foliage, and texture. Yeah, let's just do foliage effects. Let's see. Missions, viewpoint, level flow, work in progress, missions, grasslands goal, pressed goal, goals. Nerfed Adam and Carrick, but we haven't. Let's see, what else we got? When was our last update? Last update was on 4.8 or so, 4.7, 4.8, and we released a. Yes, Novice Styles, the game is multiplayer. We're also making a single player portion of it as well, with lots of missions and challenges that can be done. So hopefully there's plenty of content for people to play versus online against each other, as well as fun and interesting challenges and perhaps story missions to tell the story and continue the last of the Dashkin. So, how do we handle the server side? We have dedicated Unreal servers distributed across the globe. We've got them right now in London, Chicago, and Sydney. And we run dedicated servers that people connect to. And we don't have matchmaking right now. We just have kind of a game browser list of things you can join. And then you can vote on the next map to play. But eventually, we'll probably have matchmaking to throw you in with other people so you can like solo queue, stuff like that. It's not a Unity system. We're running in Unreal 4. Yep. Hopefully you'd be more specific there with how does that work. Is it what server provider? Do you handle load balancing to Geo, just GNS? Well, right now it's pretty simple for how it works. Basically, we have a central backend, which is in Virginia, and that's on AWS. And so we log in there, and you log in with Twitch right now. We'll be going on Steam later, right? So AWS is Amazon Web Services. It's a cloud hosting provider. So the backend has like a game browser list. And you can see there's somebody in Sydney right now playing on one of these maps. And each one of these Unreal servers that's running, they're running out of Rackspace, which is just a hosted provider. Rackspace had a better deal for game servers than Amazon, so we're using them for that. So it's just running. The servers report where they are. We have the ping listed here, which we do just a quick quality of service ping against those servers. And so we can just join those servers and everything like that. So because they're hosted dedicated servers, we don't have a bunch of problems with ports and crap like that. And if you create a game, you want to hit like the test connectivity, and it'll actually test that you have like people can connect to you locally. What are the docs for Unreal server system? Well, I'd say just Google it. The docs for Unreal are up and available publicly. But if you wanted a more technical breakdown, I've made a diagram which is helpful to me. It's in one of these things. I don't know if you can read all this easily, but basically how it works is these are clients on the left and right going down. In the middle is the server. And basically the server starts up and the clients and the server have their own game instances. But the server is the only one that has a game mode. And the game mode controls what the game is. So it'll have the basic game rules. Then how the Unreal server works is they have actors inside of this level, or levels, and they get replicated. So one of the things is like we have our game state, and the game state basically can be modified by the server, and all the changes replicate down to the clients. And you can register for if like a variable changes. You'll get notified in C++ code or inside of blueprint code of that change. So you can do something like, oh, the score changed. I can, update something that will, prompt a little goal score thing and, change the UI. All the players that are connected have a player controller, and the player controller is basically the way that the client can interact with the server, because the client owns the player controller. Yeah, it's pretty much a large event-based system. They say RP